everybody, how do you do? Gee, it's great to say hello to all of you. I'm Billy Jones. I'm Ernie Hare. We're the interwoven pair. How do you do?
Radio. It was born of many minds. Since the early 1900s, radio has been quizzing us, selling us, informing us, entertaining us, and basically communicating with us. The advent of radio broadcasting brought great public interest. In radio's infancy, inexpensive crystal detectors made the production of homemade and manufactured radio receivers possible. In 1928, radio receivers utilizing vacuum tube technology gradually replaced the crystal set as the entertainment center in homes around the country. About 20 years later, technology brought us into the solid-state era with the birth of the transistor. Everything got smaller and more sophisticated. This trend for sophistication is continuing into the 1980s and beyond. At KVNO FM in Omaha, this sophistication can be seen in satellite technology, microwave transmission, high-quality audio processing, audiophile recordings, microcomputers, and more. As a member of the National Public Radio Network, KVNO is dedicated to bringing you, the listener, the highest quality musical and public affairs programs from the metropolitan area, the country, and the world. Over 250 public radio stations across the country are linked with the satellite orbiting the Earth, West Star 4. Approximately 400 hours of programming each week are fed to the satellite from uplinks around the country. These programs are then beamed to member stations for pickup with satellite receiving dishes and sophisticated decoding equipment. Programs are either broadcast live from the satellite or are tape recorded for later broadcast. In addition to the many hours of high-quality programs available through the National Public Radio satellite system, public radio stations like KVNO strive to provide quality, locally produced programs, utilizing state-of-the-art audio recording equipment and professional audio people, digital and audiophile music recordings, and news and weather from a number of sources. Programs from KVNO are fed from the studios in Dolby to the transmitter by a microwave transmitter receiving system. The microwave signals received by the transmitter are then processed and rebroadcast to the greater metropolitan Omaha area on an FM frequency of 90.7 megacycles. What all this technology means to you is simple. As a KVNO listener, you can attend concerts from around the country, experience a broad range of jazz and classical recordings, keep current with in-depth news and events, not only on a national level, but locally and regionally as well. Experience virtually unlimited listening pleasure wherever you may be at very little cost to you. And take part in local musical events like Bagels and Bark or the Summer Arts Festival, even if you can't attend in person. Utilizing all this sophisticated technology, public non-commercial radio stations like KVNO provide you with a tremendous variety of music, information, and entertainment as a public service. A service made possible with support from the University of Nebraska at Omaha and thousands of listeners like you. In the 1950s, when television was in its infancy, many people predicted the death of radio. But emerging technologies and consumer demands have allowed both mediums to grow and flourish. Radio and technology has grown over the years, from mammoth receivers to personal high-fidelity audio equipment that can go where you go, in your home, in your car, and even on your head. Telephone lines, which tied our nation's radio networks together in the past, have been replaced with state-of-the-art satellite systems which yield ultra-high-fidelity audio to listeners wherever they might be.
This is KVNO in Omaha, 90.7 on your FM dial.
Public, non-commercial, listener-supported, high-technology, high-quality radio continues to grow, dedicated to bringing you the finest sounds from around the city, the country, the world, and beyond.
How do you do, everybody? How do you do? Gee, it's great to say hello to all of you. I'm Billy Joe. I'm Ernie Hare. We're the interwoven pair. How do you do?
Radio. It was born of many minds. Since the early 1900s, radio has been quizzing us, selling us, informing us, entertaining us, and basically communicating with us. The advent of radio broadcasting brought great public interest. In radio's infancy, inexpensive crystal detectors made the production of homemade and manufactured radio receivers possible. In 1928, radio receivers utilizing vacuum tube technology gradually replaced the crystal set as the entertainment center in homes around the country. About 20 years later, technology brought us into the solid-state era with the birth of the transistor. Everything got smaller and more sophisticated. This trend for sophistication is continuing into the 1980s and beyond. At KVNO FM in Omaha, this sophistication can be seen in satellite technology, microwave transmission, high-quality audio processing, audiophile recordings, microcomputers, and more. As a member of the National Public Radio Network, KVNO is dedicated to bringing you, the listener, the highest quality musical and public affairs programs from the metropolitan area, the country, and the world. Over 250 public radio stations across the country are linked with a satellite orbiting the Earth, West Star 4. Approximately 400 hours of programming each week are fed to the satellite from uplinks around the country. These programs are then beamed to member stations for pickup with satellite receiving dishes and sophisticated decoding equipment. Programs are either broadcast live from the satellite or are tape recorded for later broadcast. In addition to the many hours of high-quality programs available through the National Public Radio satellite system, public radio stations like KVNO strive to provide quality, locally produced programs, utilizing state-of-the-art audio recording equipment and professional audio people, digital and audiophile music recordings, and news and weather from a number of sources. Programs from KVNO are fed from the studios in Dolby to the transmitter by a microwave transmitter receiving system. The microwave signals received by the transmitter are then processed and rebroadcast to the greater metropolitan Omaha area on an FM frequency of 90.7 megacycles. What all this technology means to you is simple. As a KVNO listener, you can attend concerts from around the country, experience a broad range of jazz and classical recordings, keep current with in-depth news and events not only on a national level, but locally and regionally as well. Experience virtually unlimited listening pleasure wherever you may be at very little cost to you. And take part in local musical events like Bagels and Bark or the Summer Arts Festival, even if you can't attend in person. Utilizing all this sophisticated technology, public non-commercial radio stations like KVNO provide you with a tremendous variety of music, information, and entertainment as a public service. A service made possible with support from the University of Nebraska at Omaha and thousands of listeners like you. In the 1950s, when television was in its infancy, many people predicted the death of radio. But emerging technologies and consumer demands have allowed both mediums to grow and flourish. Radio and technology has grown over the years, from mammoth receivers to personal high-fidelity audio equipment that can go where you go, in your home, in your car, and even on your head. Telephone lines which tied our nation's radio networks together in the past have been replaced with state-of-the-art satellite systems which yield ultra-high-fidelity audio to listeners wherever they might be.
This is KVNO in Omaha, 90.7 on your FM dial.
Public, non-commercial, listener-supported, high-technology, high-quality radio continues to grow, dedicated to bringing you the finest sounds from around the city, the country, the world, and beyond.
If you turn your radio to 90.7 FM, you will find KVNO, Omaha's fine arts station. In our next segment, we'll see that while KVNO's position on the dial hasn't changed, the location of the station itself has.
The music of Carl Stamets. We heard the rondo from the Concerto in G, performed by the Academy of St. Martin in the Fields, under the direction of Kenneth Solito. The time now is 3 o'clock exactly. Do stay tuned for PM Pops with Mark Ford. This is 90.7 FM, KVNO.
And I'd like to welcome you to KVNO Omaha, 90.7 FM, PM Pops. I'm Mark Ford, and most honored to be the first to broadcast from our new facilities right in the heart of the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
And that was it. KVNO's inaugural broadcast from its new facility on the UNO campus. To the listener, the change may have been insignificant, but to the staff of KVNO, it was monumental. Air personality Mark Ford gives his impression of his new broadcast home.
What I think of this new facility is it's great. I mean, compared to the Stores Mansion that we were in before, I mean, this is brand new radio. It's like starting again for the very first time. I don't know. It gives me a really big thrill, especially to be the first one to use the facility. I really am honored to do this.
The move was a challenge, according to KVNO station manager Peter Marsh.
Many hours of, how can I say, blood, sweat and tears. Well, almost. I know a couple of people cut themselves when they were moving things, were spent moving. It was a very difficult job to move. It's not like moving another department where you may just have books to move. We can pack them up in a box and take them across. We've had hundreds of miles of wiring to install in the new facility. We've had lots of preliminary work to do to make sure the things worked before we moved in. All my employees, my full-time employees, have spent many extra hours literally packing milk crates and boxes and hauling them across campus. It's been a tedious move, but we've done it, and we're making a fresh start, and boy, are we glad it's all over.
And what does the future hold for KVNO and its listeners?
A lot more programming. I mean, as far as the facilities go, we're a lot more advanced. I mean, we've come out of the prehistoric age now, and we're in at least the 19th century, if not the 20th. And, I mean, we're really looking forward to it, and our sound is going to improve. And KVNO will try to bring them the best music that we can, and we're always out there, we're always listening. And not only are we playing, but we're listening. We want their input, and we're their radio station.
Listen to KVNO 90.7 FM through Sunday for the only live jazz broadcasts in Omaha. KVNO is having a special jazz membership campaign, and we would like you to become personally involved. The best way to become personally involved is to first listen to KVNO 90.7 FM, and then, should you so desire, call us at our new telephone number 559 KVNO and help support public radio.
Hello again and welcome to our UNO scene. I'm your host, Paul Borge. Many of us here on campus and in the Omaha area generally are listeners to our fine UNO radio station, KVNO. We're also at that time of year when KVNO holds its membership campaign. This week we're going to talk about KVNO and the upcoming membership drive with the general manager, my friend Peter Marsh. Glad you could join us, Peter.
Well, they say you've been coming apart for a few years, so I'm always anxious and helpful to stick you back together again.
Wonderful,
Join us.
Peter.
Sorry.
Yeah.
How do you do?
You know, I think one of the things that I remember, you and I met on campus here a few weeks ago, and you had a guy with you, and he was a consultant, so he was from out of town.
He sure was.
What sorts of things do you ask a consultant, and what sorts of information does he give a station like ours here at the university, Peter?
Well, Paul, I tell you, you know, KVNO, and I probably shouldn't make this public, but we've never had any professional help. And maybe we've needed it for a long time, but excuse me, I think we all need it anyway.
You want to reword that?
No. We were fortunate enough to get a grant from CPB, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, for a gentleman who does studies and consultations for public radios called Peter Dominowski.
It's a name that's hard to forget.
It is, yeah. Well, the first name especially. No, he came along and he was pretty impressed with our whole operation, but some things were not particularly too well received by him. He's a guru of the public radio programming world, and he suggested several areas we might want to look at our programming.
So we've been doing some fine-tuning, have we, lately? Some changes either starting or in the offing pretty soon?
They're working their way through now. They start beginning of October, yes. So pretty soon they're coming up.
Yeah. Now, some of our viewers, when we talk about public radio and so on, they might be a little confused as to what we're really talking about. Why don't we define our terms a little bit here, Peter?
Public radio is, I guess the easy way to explain it is an alternative listening source, and in many ways educational. So it's two things. It's educational and an alternative listening.
To the normal run of normal commercial broadcasting, really?
Yes, to commercial radio. You see, we don't have a commercial. We don't have blatant advertising commercials that are sometimes sound a little garish.
We have underwriters.
Exactly, we have an underwriter.
Define the difference there, if you would, Peter.
Well, a commercial is, I guess, normally there are calls to action in a commercial whereby you're invited to do things like call this number immediately, or call for the best offer, or call for your best price, or go visit this place. The commercial is enticing you to do something that you might not normally want to do. Now, in an underwriting message, we can't say that. We could say, if you're interested, you may call for more information. We don't tell the listener to go do something. The onus is always left to them. We can't also use descriptive adjectives. We can't say that Paul's typewriter services are the best or the biggest. We can say that Paul has a typewriter service.
I see. So it's a matter of degree, really.
We have, the FCC really keep a tight rein on what we can and we can't say.
Well, you know, a few years ago we didn't have any public radio stations in the area. Now we have about 3 of them. And we have a good working relationship among them all, don't we, Peter?
Well, yes, you're right when you say we have about 3 of them. Oops, was that too naughty of me to say? Of course, there's KVNO, which is, and I say this, and it sounds maybe that I'm blowing my own trumpet, but I'm not. These are facts that we get from our Arbitron ratings. KVNO is the leader of the 3, with right now almost a 6% share of the listening market. KIOS, which is the Omaha Public Schools public radio station, and of which we are in very good relations with KIOS.
Yes.
A little lower down the scale. And then KIWR in Council Bluffs is the 3rd one with a pretty low rating right now.
Now, as far as ratings and all those things go, one thing we do every so often, and that's one of the reasons, the main reasons you're here, is we have what we call membership drives. Maybe that's new to some people too. Even if they've been in the area for a while, they haven't listened to radio a lot yet. Let's get it on track here as to what we are and what we're doing on these drives, Peter.
Well, I tell you, I thought we might be talking about my hair, but no, we don't want to do that just yet.
Not spend too much time on that, Peter, but it is shorter.
I was just trying to look like you, Paul. Just getting, just get it nice and thin on top.
I like it.
Thank you. public radio is not supported in its entirety by the state. For example, if we were maybe an English department, whereby we were entirely funded by the university.
Might know you choose English.
Well, I didn't really mean that one. He snickered. No, then we would say, okay, we can pay our staff, we can buy the books we need and our office supplies and pay our telephone bills. The university pays for that. Alas, that's not the same with public radio. We get approximately a third from the state, from the university. A third comes in the form of grants from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and other sources, and then approximately the other third comes from member support, where we solicit on air contributions from people who listen. It's almost like pay radio. You know, if you listen, then hey guys, you have to pay.
You don't have to, but we strongly encourage it.
We do. It's like you pay for a cable service on television. Alternative radio is very expensive, and hey, it takes a lot to operate the place. So if you like this quality programming, if you like to listen to those alternative programs, if you like to listen to classical music all day and jazz all night, and you specifically like this program, for example, Frank Bramhall now has been doing the breakfast program for a long time on KVNO.
15 years, yeah.
And many people tell us, we get feedback from all over the greater metro area. Oh, I wake up to Frank every morning, you know, he's there with me when I wake up, he's there with me in the bathroom, wherever I am. I listen to the program. Now, those are the people who will contribute during Frank's program.
Now, every season we seem to have a theme which are kind of unique and different. What's the theme this time around? He brought along some visuals.
Well, I brought along some things here to show you guys, only because the theme this time is to do with this baby here. What does it look like?
Big Band Hit Parade.
Well, no, not that. What is the picture?
Oh, Nickelodeon.
It's a jukebox. Nickelodeon, right? It's a jukebox. Jukebox Jubilee is our theme. And we're offering things like this. Big Band Hit Parade is one of the special premiums we offer, whereby people are enticed to call in and offer maybe $65 as their pledge of support for KVNO. And we will send them this, which is quite a nifty premium. Can I talk about premium?
Yes, you have some other
I've got
goodies
some
there.
other stuff
Go
here.
right ahead, Peter.
We have, of course, this is a Christmas album, Christmas in Other Places, written and produced by an old pal of mine, Rick Swanson. Urban Surrender is Rick's group, and of course I used to play with it. But it's produced by Carol Davis, and this is again another premium. This type of thing we give away. Of course, people are thinking about Christmas.
Yes.
Do you know already there are Christmas things in the stores for sale now?
In September?
In September. I can't believe it. For example, how about this? Do you remember Mannheim Steamroller?
Oh, indeed so.
This is the second Christmas album. They released it last year.
One of the very popular ones.
Oh, this is a nationwide, well, a world popular group. And Chip is...
That's a gold record thing, isn't it?
You betcha.
Yeah.
Chip Davis is doing so many wonderful things to raise money now for Yellowstone, all because of Mannheim Steamroller. That's an album we'll offer for as a premium. We also offer the very first album that Chip put together was this very famous one that did win many awards.
Oh yeah.
Mannheim Steamroller Christmas.
That's the first Christmas album.
This is the first one.
Yeah.
Now, they put together a video. The drummer boy, there was a drummer boy. Remember the drummer boy? Well, we also have, as a very special from Chip, you see this Fresh Air Christmas, well, this beautiful velvet case.
That's impressive.
And then we have this
there comes the
fantastic drummer boy here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave this here so we can maybe look at this. This is an exact replica of the drummer boy that was in that Christmas video, and it's hand painted and is pretty special. You know, Chip gave us a couple of these.
Hey, it's beautiful.
And of course, people really go mad for things like that. We also have, remember this first album I showed you?
Yes.
We also have the music that was on that album, so that if you want to play...
the first
album.
Christmas album, yeah.
If you want to have that in your own collection, and you say you're musical like I am, and you want to play the old piano, hey, it's here. You can Good King Wenceslas, the exact arrangement You know, it started off with that very strange, not strange, different introduction.
Mm-hmm.
It's even autographed by Chip.
Yeah, I
See?
did.
He autographed it.
Have
for
you
us.
run out of goodies yet? You got
No,
an
no,
endless
no, no.
box there, Peter.
Lots of goodies here. What about this? Selections from Victory at Sea, and that
Uh-huh.
appeals to a lot of people. We have a Disney spectacular played by Eric Kunzel and the Cincinnati
Oh,
Pops
that's
Orchestra.
the one I'd like, yeah.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. We have James Galway was a recent visitor to the Omaha
yes,
Symphony. Of course, he
indeed.
came to the station,
Yeah.
and we talked with him, and him and I told a few very silly jokes. Did I ever tell you the one about the two mushrooms that went out for dinner?
No, but you're going to.
And the girl mushroom at the end of the evening said, boy, oh boy, thank you for such a nice dinner. You drive so well too. In fact, I think you're a real fun guy.
Why don't you just move
British
along?
humour is
British
somewhat
humor,
different.
right off the wall.
Then, of course,
People
we
say
have,
schedule.
what's this? Hello again. No, that's not it. And welcome to. We have, this is my penultimate, a Fresh Air t-shirt.
Never without a T-shirt, all right. And
This is, we've never done this before.
yeah.
Classical Encores. It's a compact disc and it features favourites of Wagner, Mendelssohn, the Fingalscaves Overture. We've
Wonderful.
got Eine kleine Nacht music by Mozart. It's got a beautiful selection
And
on
turn it around
But I wanna
carefully
turn it
now
around
because
now
he wants to
because
show.
I want to show you this right here. You see
Yeah.
that musical logo? It's one of our new logos where the musical notes represent 90.7.
That is
We've got a quarter
fantastic.
note, a whole note. We've even got a dot. We've got the what is it? A quaver in England. It's an eighth note rest. Ha! The quavers. It's our own personalised compact disc, and of course we'll be giving these away.
We're down to 1 minute, Peter.
Not again.
Yes, we are.
I was going to talk.